zooming in on us. Can you hear us okay, Brenda? Okay. Now we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We have a new student school board representative here, Clayton Hubland. And then just a word of note is at the end of the meeting we'll be closing for the superintendent evaluation, and then we'll be adjourning afterwards. So, first item up will be approve the meeting agenda. Do you have anything to add?
Nope, everything should be updated.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Greg, do we have a second?
Second.
That was Stacy?
Yep.
Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We gotta do this roll call, don't we? Brenda? Are you an aye or a nay? Brenda, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye? Okay. Should we do that one over? We'll just move on. Okay. Opportunity to visitors to address the board. Do we have anyone that wants to address the board? Okay, we'll move on from there. Approve the 2024-25 student school board representatives with Clayton Hubland and Eddie Sanchez. Motion by Anna. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. Any discussion there? Welcome aboard. All those in favor of approving student school board representative signify by saying aye. We'll do this roll call now. Brenda?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Aye. Ann?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have some acknowledgements. We have summer food service programming staff, summer club bikes coordinator and staff, summer weight room coaches, and summer custodial staff. Anything to add, Mr. Court?
No, thank you to all of our summer staff for all their hours and time and energy they spent in their program that they led. We appreciate that.
Anybody else? Okay. We have presentations. The RYLA camp. We have Miss Sarah Hogrud and Miss Mariah Wisher. You have a presentation for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I am Mariah Wisher,
I'm Sarah Hungry.
and we're both going into 12th grade. And we went to Riley Camp from July 14th through the 20th. And it was basically this leadership camp that Mrs. Lage suggested that we go to. And we were both very skeptical to begin with because we didn't know what it was. No one really knew what it was, and no one they just said to expect a good time. So we did. We put our trust into it. And yeah.
As she said, we were skeptical when we got there. We thought that we'd be together the whole time, and then we were completely split up, and we were like, oh no, what did we get ourselves into? But it ended up being such a positive experience.
Yes, and we are so happy that we put our full trust into them, the facilitators, the staff, everyone there, because it was truly one of the best times of my life. I had never been to anything like camp before, so it was very kind of refreshing to be in a different environment and meet tons of new people. And we had these things called families, and I was in family D.
And I was in family C.
And every time during family time, it would be at the end of the night, that would always be the note you left on was your family time. So Sarah wasn't in my family, I wasn't in her family, we didn't know anyone. And right away it was kind of just, scary. It was a scary thing, but when you put your full trust and faith into like all of these people that, you know what they're doing and know how to do their job. It was so comforting, and it was one of my favorite times of camp. It like just meeting all the new people, being with our families, and yeah.
And like throughout the week, we would, like our families, we have like speakers and stuff for like the whole group, and then we do like leadership activities like with our families. So like one of like the first ones, we like built something out of Legos, and nobody like knew each other, and everyone was kind of like quiet and like in their shells. And then by like the end of the week, it was just so crazy because like everyone was like working together, and no one was like nervous, and everyone was just like truly like a leader. Like I feel like we all like grew so much.
And with being around so many different people, and like they were suggested by other people, like we were by Mrs. Leach, and it was so weird and kind of fun to be around a bunch of different people who are like more on the outgoing side. But then it made me think, am I like a leader around here? Am I outgoing around here? Because there's so many different like personalities, and you all come together, and you all are just so comfortable. And I, like, right as I said, I was, nervous, kind of, reserved. But as like the days went on, and we went into like the speaking, and like all the speakers, they would have people stand up and share their stories, and I ended up sharing one of my stories about, my like dance life and stuff. And so like I just got to share, and they all listened, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to open up. And the rest of camp I was just, free, and it was so refreshing. So
another one of like the big things that they talked about all week was like the Ryla glow. And they were like talking about how like you will like bring home like this just like glow, and you'll just kind of like shine it everywhere. And I feel like we're both kind of like, yeah, like whatever, like everyone says that.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's been like so true. We've both just been like so like, I feel like it's like really stuck, and like a lot of like the leadership and growth, like it's still here, and we're like willing to like spread it.
Definitely. And like, as you can see, like we have nothing bad to say about this camp. Like it's all good things. Like we really hope that more Pelican students end up going, because truly you put all your trust and faith into it, and it was one of the best times of our life. So and it had a great balance, between like learning leadership qualities and like learning new things from speakers, to just having fun with other people and getting to know other people and kind of getting out of your shell. So yeah, we definitely recommend that other Pelican students go, and we would love to hear about it. And as we said to the Rotary Club, we plan to go back actually as either facilitators or staff members. So yeah, that's how much we loved it. So yeah.
Did they incorporate the 7 habits of highly effective people in this camp, and how did they do that?
So yes, it was kind of based around that, and each speaker kind of got like a habit and brought it within their life and how to use it in your life, and it really helped like to hear their examples and stuff, because like you read the 7 habits and it's like synergize, but it's like, okay, like how do you do that? And they were very like thorough, and it very spread the message across very well. So yeah, we went through all the 7 habits and much more with each speaker.
And I feel like hearing it from each person, it really helped like put yourselves like in their shoes and be like, okay, this is how I can incorporate it like into my life, instead of like you said, like just like synergize, but it's like how like different people had done that.
That's still, they have that at UM Crookston, right?
Right.
How was, you stay in the dormitories when you were there?
Yes.
Did they have the residential dining center open for you?
Yes.
So was there any summer school going on with college students there at the same time you guys were there? Or were you guys separate for Ryla only?
Yeah, I don't know if I saw
I don't think I saw
anyone
anybody.
else.
Yeah.
No.
My last question will be, you didn't know a lot about this going in, and I know it's through Rotary. Did they speak anything about Interact? Does that ring a bell? Which I believe is still a program that allows high school kids to serve in some capacity the same mission that Rotary International does. We have our local Rotary Club here. Did they speak much to that, or did they give you any thoughts, as you move ahead and graduate high school being part of different civic organizations like Rotary, or that's just an example of many of them out there, but did it give you some perspective on what they do and maybe pique some interest that involved you?
I feel like, because we talked about like some things that we had done for like our like towns or whatever and else, and we heard like a lot of like other different like campers there talking about their Interact Club and like some projects that they had done. And I feel like we both had talked about it'd be something that we'd be interested in doing or like starting up or something like that, because it sounded very fun and like being able to do something more hands-on in Rotary.
Yeah, and hearing about like other, students and like what they have in their towns and other, like facilitators, what they had when they were in high school and stuff. It was very like, okay, like a lot of ideas coming to us and, lots of things we would like to bring back. I mean, and we did like some service projects. We helped out at the food bank and, did all that, and then we like passed out roses for kindness, and we just did a bunch of things all together, and so many different ideas that we would like to bring back to Pelican as well.
Was the food good?
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all, no. And the dorms were really nice. We had 2 bedrooms in each dorm. We had an oven, a stove, a dishwasher, a microwave, which obviously we didn't use, but, and then 2 beds in each room, a bathroom in one room, and then a bathroom to, the outer living space and connected to the other room. So it was very spacious, and yeah, it was really nice, so.
I believe the next step is for you guys are gonna meet with Mrs. Januszewski and Mr. Brigham and talk about your experiences and how you guys can work with them and incorporate some things in our school and our community, which is great.
Yeah, we're super excited to see more Pelican students go to this because, like we said, we are so passionate about this, as you can see, and so happy that we got the opportunity to go. So, yeah.
Is this the first year anybody from Pelican's gone, or is this the first year of it? You would, okay, all right.
A few years ago.
But you didn't have to present.
I think I did present.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think you were here yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Mr. Derek Nelson with the elementary Navy report.
I guess I'd like to thank all the custodians for their work in the school ready. We had quite a few projects this summer at the elementary, from tile being taken out to new flooring put in, and then a bunch of flooring that they had put in last year. They had to redo it all because it was not, the finish was coming up, so there was a lot of extra work for the custodians, a lot of extra dust and things, so thank them for all their work. Also the cooks for their time coming in for their meals, say breakfast and lunch, for students as well as all the Club Bikes kids. And again, we had a great turnout for Club Bikes. Thanking Mrs. Honrud and all the different activities that her and her staff put together for all the students. Next year will be a little different having the pool back. They might not be as creative because they've come up with a lot of different water activities that they've done at the school without a pool the last 2 years, but with the number of kids there, it shows how much fun the kids are having being there, and thank them for their creative ideas that have made it exciting for the kids. Looking at hires, Robin Swanson as a cook back in the kitchen. Rochelle Richardson and Nadine Brown are going to share an access position, so they're part-time. Tara Thorson will be an afternoon para. Amber Henninger will be a full-time para. And then Casey Klostad is going to be student teaching with Mrs. Westby. And thanking Mrs. Westby for having her as a student teacher this year. This week we've had new teacher workshop. That was on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today. Staff has had a lot of training as far as getting their paperwork done, tech training. Yesterday morning they had 7 habit training, and then also time to meet with their mentor and go over a lot of the things in each building. They're different, and we have a pretty good mentor program that we've set up here the last few years, and they have a checklist they go over. So both of them at the elementary said it's been a really good week, and today they have Promethean training, their Promethean boards as well. So, and then next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have new teacher, or we have all teacher workshop, and Wednesday is open house and elementary. We have, again, set up times where the families come in and meet the teacher and have time for 15 minutes or so to kind of talk about whatever they need to talk about, meet the teacher, and kind of get settled. So when the kids come on following Tuesday, they know where they're going and they're ready to go. Activities, junior high football, Jan Lindberg and Parker Severson. And then junior high volleyball, a couple hires, Rochelle Richardson and Jessica Weinrich. Fall numbers, we have good numbers out right now. Girls cross country, we have 10, boys cross country 11, girls soccer 26, boys soccer 41, volleyball 32, and football 45. Tomorrow kicks off the fall season with the both boys and girls soccer teams playing at home here. Saturday the cross country team goes over to Perham. And next Tuesday the volleyball team opens at home here against Park Christian. And Friday the football team travels to Breckenridge. So busy times, and ready or not, here we go. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks. Janishevsky with the principal high school report.
Student enrollment, we're kind of starting where we ended at 404 and starting at 404, but I've had some emails that we do have some new students, so those will be updated at the next board meeting. Mrs. Lage is back in her office, and this is a very busy time for her, but she started the middle of last week. Staff workshops, as Mr. Nelson mentioned, we have new teacher workshops. The one new teacher here is our choir teacher, Miss Wang. She's being mentored by Mr. Fitzsimmons, and just has a great group with Mr. Fitzsimmons and Miss Moen to get her going. She comes from Kimball. Fall workshops are next week. Technology training, I have Monica Thompson coming in from Lakes Country to do some general tech training with the high school staff. Our PLCs will look a little bit different this year. I kind of alluded to this last year, but we're going to split into 4 groups. One that focuses on mental health, one that focuses on our ELL population, one that's focusing on student portfolios, and I think I might try to tap into Sarah and Mariah with this just to get some ideas from them as a student on maybe what should go in a leadership portfolio. And then we'll have one group that's focusing on STAR assessments and the READ Act. Our PLC and individual goals will be based again this year on our district goals. And then this year I decided for our department goals, we're gonna work on our 5 ins and 5 outs, which will be curriculum driven. So it'll be the 5 things that they want their students to know when they're coming in, and the 5 things they want them to know when they're going out, so we can really start to hone in on our scope and sequence. Open house is next Wednesday from 4:30 to 7:30. We have 7th grade orientation at 5:30. This year we're going to have students go through some rotations, so they will have a general session with us in the fine arts, and then they'll rotate between getting their laptop, a tour, and we're going to talk to parents about Skyward, making sure they really understand how to communicate and see their students' information on Skyward. And then 9th grade orientation will be at 6:30, also in the fine arts. I mentioned Miss Wang was a new hire, and then we have Anelli Franco, who will be our ELL paraprofessional. First day of school is the 3rd, and then the week of the 30th is homecoming week. A couple things that were included were our fall workshop schedule and then our student handbook. Just some slight changes to the handbook, an update on our dress code, and then our cell phone policy. Really, our cell phone policy hasn't changed at all. It's always been no phones in the classroom, but we're going to try to really tighten that up this year. Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. have our student reps. Let's go first. Do you have a report for us, or?
Yeah, small report. Fall sports meeting, August 6th. To add on what Ms. J was talking about, open house on August 28th. 7th graders first and 9th graders will follow. To add on about the Pelican Rotary Club, they selected Sarah Hoggard and Mariah Wisher for the summer's Rotary Youth Leadership Awards.
That's it. Thank you. Mr. Hubland, do you have anything for us, or want to introduce yourself?
My name is McLean Hubland. It's good to be here. I'm thankful that Ms. J offered to have me here. All fall sports have started: volleyball, soccer, football, and cross country. They're all going well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Do you have any questions for us? Okay. No worries. Thank you. Mr. Martinez.
Morning, everyone. New fiscal year. So today we present on the first period. I don't have a budget to actual graph for you guys, as we're still kind of cleaning up and closing out the old fiscal year. Once we do that, then I'll start updating and presenting you guys the budget to actual. For today, we'll use our template that we always talk about, our cash flow, just to kind of give you guys an idea. We started the new fiscal year with $6 million in our investment account. We received $88,000 into our investment account from MDE. That is primarily due to our food service, summer food service program from all the meals that we're serving. Out of our investment account, I pulled $495,000. We ended the period with $5.6 million. July is a dry month for the school, as MDE is also resetting all their budgets and everything, so we receive no state aid from them. All that we receive is the funding for giving out meals in the summer. Our checking account, of course, includes all of our funds, so we can operate them. We started with $755,000 in there. We had total deposits of $522, of which $495 came from our investment account. Total accounts payable was $1.2 million. Very common because we have a lot of projects going on. So we pay a lot of our LTFM money for those summer projects that Trev is working on. Other things that contributed to it is our student devices for the elementary. So we refreshed all of our iPads for our elementary students. In addition to, we made the payment for the interest on our debt. So that alone brought those accounts payable quite a bit high. Payroll was $433, very common, very normal. At the end of the day, or at the end of the month, we ended in a negative balance of $432,000. And just please remember that we have a zero balance account. That is, when our checking account hits zero, it pulls from our investment account as overdraft protection. Then no journal entries. Again, period one. We're kind of letting everything go as it is. And then we just go straight into, if you just go down into the payables. So like I mentioned, if you guys have any questions regarding payables, or you need more backup in any of what runs behind in our checking system, let me know and I'll be able to provide support for that. Big things coming up in the business office. We have the audit, September 9th through 13th. Again, fiscal audit that we have every year, so it gets pretty busy here the next couple of weeks, getting everything to them and start preparing. We also have a food service audit coming up. I haven't received the dates actual for that. That's every 5 years. And we also have a special education audit going on, and that again is also every 5 years. So we have quite a few audits going on, so it's a pretty busy time for us. Other things today in the board agenda, all that we have for you guys is to approve the date for setting the Truth in Taxation meeting. We do it every December. December is a busy time for us because we go over truth in taxation. We have the open hearing for that. And then in addition, we also present to you guys the findings and then the annual audit presentation. Today for the levy, which is a truth in taxation, all we're doing is just setting the date, letting the public know that it's gonna be held on December 16th at 6 p.m. in our regular board meeting. That's all that I have for you guys. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes.
Any questions? Think we're good?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Korf?
Okay, a few community engagement activities here for the last couple of months. We had the Rotary Turkey Barbecue, which we had students involved and staff involved helping serve our community. We had the fly-in breakfast in August, and we just had the Rotary Golf Tournament here this past week, so good way to connect with people in our community and surrounding areas. Also, we presented at the Pelican Valley Assisted Living here this past week. Met with them, talked about all the good things happening here at ISD 548. And then we had students that worked at the Otter Tail County Fair and served there and showed animals. So great opportunities to interact with our community members and people in the area. Staff workshop, you heard our building principals talk about new staff workshop, which is last day is today, and then next week. We have district staff workshop on Monday, and then teacher workshop will continue Tuesday through Thursday. Just some key things here. They talked about open house. Open house is next week at the high school, and at the elementary, Mr. Nelson talked about where the students and parents come in and visit with their teacher. Also a reminder, gala. The Viking Gala is on October 5th this year. That money is raised for our school foundation, and the school foundation provides money to our staff that they use, which will help teaching and learning. So great fundraiser and a great way to connect with our former staff and former student athletes that they recognize. Staff hires, our building principals talked about our staff hires. We also have custodial staff on there, and our custodial staff are replacing staff that have resigned in the past. So we feel good about our custodial staff going into the school year. Staff picnic is on Monday, August 26th at 6 p.m. at E.L. Peterson Park, where staff can park at Trinity parking lot and then walk over the bridge, or they can park right by St. Leonard's Church parking lot there and on the street, and then able to get to the park there. We will organize all the food. We're kind of running late here, so Mr. Herg and I talked that admin met with Ms. Krausrud, and we're just going to organize all the food through here, what we've done in the past, some items. So we'll be feeding turkey and then hot dogs with some salad and beans and things like that. So we'll organize that, have it all there, so board members can be there around 5:45, and then we should be serving by 6 o'clock. Another item on the board agenda is the master calendar. And on the master calendar, there's a recommendation for a change. And we had staff workshop on November 4th, which is a Monday. We'd like to move that to Friday, November 1st. The reason is for training especially for all the staff that are involved with the READ Act. That was the date that was available. It wasn't available on Monday, so we'd like to move it to that day, which then would impact the last day of end of the quarter for quarter one to October 31st. So those are the changes on the calendar that we're recommending for you. Also, there's policies on the agenda. First reading, second reading. Our policy committee met here in August and are recommending the first and then the first and second reading for the policies that are listed. Upcoming events, Got staff workshop, we talked about that, and the first day of school is September 3rd. Last few things that we've been talking about here with our admin, and we'll be working with our staff, is focusing on our mission, our priorities, and our district goals, and we'll get staff involved with our district goals again this year. And we will, throughout the school year, at the school board meetings, we will presenting. And also, I just talked and met with our two school board, student school board members, and they're gonna get involved with our wellness committee and help us with wellness activities during the school year, so, which is great, so. Questions?
Ryan, did you say you met with the Pelican Valley Hospital board?
Nope, Pelican Valley Assisted Living met with the residents that are there, yeah.
I appreciate all of the community engagement, and it's good. I think back, I probably hammered it pretty hard, but I think to the township outreach that's been done, and just the community engagement and making yourself available has been a big asset for the district. Thank you for that.
Yep, welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Okay, we will move on. Next item up will be consent items. Item A, approved board meeting minutes, July 17th, 2024, regular school board meeting. B, financial claims and July bills. C, treasurer's report. D, accept donations. We have student accounts, $80, Laura Klimek. Viking Boutique, $80, Laura Klimek. Severson Strong Scholarship, $1,545 from Harper and Beckett Peterson's Lemonade Stand in memory of Uncle Ryan Severson. Item E, personnel. Approve the resignation of Catherine Albright as one-act play director at the high school. Approve the resignation of Florence Schmidt as part-time ADSIS interventionist at the elementary. Approve the resignation of John Eisnes as varsity girls golf coach at the high school. Approve the resignation of Jenna Nava-Pixley as full-time custodian at the elementary. Approve the resignations of Deborah Cornier as special education paraprofessional at the elementary. Approve the hire of Nadine Brown as part-time ADSIS interventionist at the elementary. And approve the hire of Rochelle Richardson as part-time ADSIS interventionist at the elementary. Approve the hire of David Brown as long-term English substitute at the high school. Approve the hire of Robin Swanson as kitchen worker at the elementary. Approve the hire of Parker Severson as junior high football coach at the high school. Approve the hire of Rochelle Richardson as junior high volleyball coach at the high school. Approve the hire of Jessica Weinrich as junior high volleyball coach at the high school. Approve the hire of Rochelle Richardson as varsity girls golf coach at the high school. Approve the hire of special education paraprofessionals Amber Henniger, Tara Thorson, part-time, and Chris Molina. Approve the hire of part-time custodians Myra Diaz, Robert Diaz, and Michael Vogel. Michael Vogel, okay. And item F, approve the MOU with Doug Rubin. So do we have a motion and a second for the consent items?
Mr. Carter, can I explain the MOU with Doug Brigman?
Sure.
I did not explain that in my
Yep.
report. The MOU with Doug Brigman is, when we moved him to the Dean of Students position, he's on a teacher on leave of that assignment to be the Dean of Students. So he's out of the classroom, moved to the Dean of Students, and that's what the MOU is for.
Okay.
And it's a yearly, we do that yearly.
Okay.
Motion.
Okay.
Consent items.
Motion by Jan, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Greg. Any discussion on consent items? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye, and this will be roll call again. Brenda?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Aye. Molly?
Aye.
Consent items carried. Item 10, business items, approve the Viking Elementary student handbook. for 2024 to 2025. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Stacy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg. Any discussion on the handbook for the elementary? Anything you need to add, Mr. Gorf?
I do not.
Mr. Nelson?
We just updated dress code and then updated cell phone policy.
Okay. And we do this every year.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye. Brenda?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Aye. Molly? Motion carries. Approve the PRHS student handbook for 2024-25. We have a motion for that.
I'll move to approve it.
Motion by Greg. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. Now, any discussion on that? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the student handbook for the high school signify by saying aye, and this will be roll call again. Brenda?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Aye. Molly? Motion carries. Approve the employee handbook for 2024-25. This is something we do every year too.
Correct. Yep.
I'll move to approve the employee handbook for 2025.
Motion by Greg. Do we have a second? Second by Molly. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving Greg's motion signify by saying aye, and this will be roll call again. Brenda? Go ahead, Brenda.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Greg? Stacy?
Aye.
Ann? Aye. Molly? Motion carries. Item D, approve the updated master calendar 2024-25. Is Mr. Corf on over with the change?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion by Stacy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion. All those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye. Brenda?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Aye. Molly?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item E, approve the truth and taxation public meeting date, December 16th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Do we have a motion for that?
Motion.
Motion by Ann. I guess I'll make a second. Don't feel left out here, so. Any discussion on the meeting date? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the meeting date signify by saying aye. Brenda?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Aye. Ann?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item F, approve the first and second reading of the following policies. We have Policy 102, Equal Education Opportunity. Policy 104, Public District Mission Statement. Policy 207, Public Hearings. And Policy 413, Harassment and Violence. Do we have a motion for those?
Make the motion.
Okay, motion by Ann. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Molly. Now, any discussion on those policies? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the first and second reading signify by saying aye. Brenda?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Aye. Molly? Motion carries. Item G, approve the first reading of the following policies. We have Policy 416, Drug, Alcohol, and Cannabis Testing. Policy 504, Student Dress and Appearance. Policy 524, internet technology and cell phone acceptance use and safety policy. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll move to approve the first
I'll make a
reading.
motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay.
Second, Brendan's.
We have a motion by Brenda, second by Greg. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye, and we'll start with Brenda again.
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Ann, I'm an aye, and Molly? Aye. Motion carries. So we have upcoming meetings, we have a staff picnic at next Monday, 6 p.m. at Yale Peterson Park. September 18th, 2024, our regular school board meeting is at 6 p.m. October 21st, our regular meeting is at 6 p.m. also. So who wants to, I could make a motion, I guess. So I make a motion to close the rest of the meeting with following adjournment for the purpose of superintendent evaluation pursuant to Minnesota statutes 13D David .05, subdivision 3, parentheses A. And a summary will be provided in the next meeting. Something along that line, does that work? So I made a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of adjourn, or close meeting and then adjourning, signify by saying aye. I'll start with Brenda again.
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Aye. Ann?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Aye.
Greg? Okay, we will close the meeting and adjourn after that.